Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to turn a line drawing into pixel art. We're going to be doing this two different ways. Our first one is going to be our freehand version of this tutorial. Let's get our supplies out and I'll show you how to get started. For the freehand version of this project, you're going to need just a couple of supplies. First, you're going to want to print the grid with all of our squares on it that's included in our package. You're definitely going to want a pencil and eraser because the drawing that we're going to do is going to be changing as we go, and pixel art is all about like the experimentation of the shapes that you've got. You'll also probably want a black marker or pencil of some kind to finish off your outline. You'll also may want a ruler. Rulers can be nice to help us keep the edges of our coloring nice and straight. And then in the end, if you do choose to color, having some kind of material, whatever you have at home, I'm going to be using chisel tip markers, will be great.
Let's start with a simple pencil sketch so we can change it up as we go. I'm going to be using a black marker to do the pixels so that you can see them nice and clearly. We're going to start on this edge over here that is curved, obviously not square. Anywhere that line touches, any square section that it passes through, we're going to go ahead and fill in as one solid pixel, one solid square. I'm going to go over to this next one and we're going to fill that one. You'll notice here that I could go one at a time, or if you notice that the line is passing through several of them at a time, you can go ahead and fill them all in together like I just did. There's a curve over here. I would recommend kind of doing this little staircase technique to make it look as if the line is bending to follow the curvature of that shape. I'm going to be using a ruler to get this long section that I see here feeling nice and straight. You can use a ruler at any point if you feel like it will help in getting that line to be nice and straight. We're finishing up the outline on the head now, and we're going to be arriving at starting the ears. The ears are identical shapes in my sketch, but not quite when I start pixelating them out. I start doing this first ear, and I think I got a pretty okay shape. I added a little extra pixel there to balance it out, and you'll probably be doing this yourself in your own drawings. Feel free to add an extra pixel to make things feel balanced when you need to. Now we're moving on to a section that I definitely do want to be balanced and symmetrical, and that is the eyes. I'm going to count out each one of these sides to be similar on both, and I'm going to add a little bit of a curve to the top of the eye here. The white circle that is the reflection in the eye, I'm going to turn into a square. Now that I like the look of one eye, I'm going to try to reflect that over onto the other side by doing a technique where I actually just put little dots to count out the same number of pixels on each side of the shape to make sure that they are balanced and about equal. Even though my outline was not quite balanced there, I can just erase the part that I don't like and make it match the eye that I do. Similar to when I did the eyes, I'm going to count out the way that I do these before I fill them all the way in, just to make sure that I like the shape and that it's balanced. With our pixel line work done and cleaned up with an eraser, we can get to the fun part, which is coloring. Coloring your pixel art is really nice because you don't have to do it one pixel at a time. You can fill in large sections with the colors that you need. Sometimes I outline and make like a little extra space in between, but really this part's up to how you like to color. I'm using a marker, but colored pencils are also really nice too. You can choose to color in different sections, different colors like you would with a coloring book. You also don't have to color them section by section. And you can even do some colored sections that don't have an outline. Make the pixels themselves the color that stands out and supports your design. Another way to pixelate art is to get existing line work and use a window with good lighting to trace onto your pixelated graph paper. I'm going to tape this up onto my window nice and careful. And then the second sheet is going to be the pixelated grid right on top. And if you've got enough light, you should be able to see through your paper just like this. Put a separate piece of tape to keep it still, and you're ready to get started. I would recommend doing this step with a pencil. I'm going to use a Sharpie so that you can see it clear on my camera. As you're tracing, do all of the biggest shapes that you need to see the outline of your design and avoid any of the smaller details that might not be able to be pixelated later. Once you're done, you can remove your sheet off of the window and you will have some fresh line art for you to pixelate using the technique that we talked about before. I hope you guys enjoy and have a lot of fun creating your own pixelated artwork.